At this time, please welcome the voice of Ring of Honor, Dave Prizak. As I'm sure you all know, this past Saturday night in Philadelphia, Ring of Honor history was made. And as is tradition here at ROH, the first event after a new world champion has been crowned will start with the champion interviewed here in this ring. So at this time, please welcome your new Ring of Honor world champion, Takeshi Morishima! Tomorrow night, I've got a very important match teaming up with Morishima. So because of that, the NOAH office have sent me out here tonight to speak for him. Now, normally the new champ would come out here in the ring and be interviewed, but tonight with Morishima, Morishima never gets in this ring unless he's going to kick somebody's ass. So tonight, in the main event against BJ Whitmer, he'll be right here in this ring. It's all about opportunities. So sometime here in the future, why don't you and Morishima give my brother and I an opportunity and tag up against us? Now boys, are you sure that's really what you want? You do? Well then fellas, here's your opportunity. Thanks for coming, guys.
Nigel. Now, I've never had a problem with you, but tonight, for some reason, you've decided to team with Colt Cabana against my team. You people disgust me. Now, I think you really should just follow my suggestion. I really think you should just follow my suggestion. Just escort yourself right out of this ring, right out of this match, and let us take care of our personal business with Colt Cabana.
You know, Lacey, that sounds like a great idea. But I'm not gonna succumb to a threat from a cheap, dirty slag like you. I've signed for that match, so I'll have that match anytime you fellas want.
February 23rd, 2007. We are in Dayton, Ohio, as Ring of Honor's 5th year festival rolls on. It is 5 years to the day from the very first Ring of Honor event. And we've got Colt Cabana rushing the ring here, getting this tag team match started a little bit earlier than expected. Dave Prazak joined by Lenny Leonard.
Colt Cabana coming out here to help out Nigel McGuinness. We're going to have this matchup a little earlier, like you said, than we thought, asking Todd Sinclair to ring the bell, and they did just that. And right now it is Brent Albright, the gun for hire, taking over on Nigel McGuinness in the corner.
Teaming with Jimmy Jacobs has made the tag right there. Jacobs the legal man. Lacey in their corner. Of course, Brent Albright, the gun for hire. Lacey has been paying a whole lot of money to Brent Albright as of late to do her bidding, and he's been very effective in that role. Nigel McGuinness teaming with classic Colt Cabana have reformed their team and rededicated themselves to tag team wrestling and being partners with one another here in 2007.
Jacobs still controlling the leg of McGuinness, crawling with everything he's got to try and make the tag to Cabana, but Jacobs smartly grapevines the leg and makes the tag to Brent Albright. Drives the elbow to the chest of Nigel McGuinness. Right back to work on the leg is Albright. Kicking away at that hamstring, trying to Charlie horse that muscle up. Now wrenching down on the ankle.
Twisting away on that ankle. Turns him over. And driving the knee of Nigel McGuinness down into the canvas.
Staying right on top of McGuinness, though, and another tag to Jacobs. Lacey on the outside, very happy with how things are turning out here in the early going. Jacobs again with the leg of McGuinness, now wrapped over that second rope, pulling down on the ankle. Cabana coming around trying to help his partner out. Albright puts a stop to that.
Has his eyes on Colt Cabana, looking to earn his paycheck from Lacey here tonight.
Boot to the back by Jacobs to Nigel McGuinness. Stumbles into the corner on one leg. Jacobs pounds away at the midsection. Once again has that leg wrapped around the rope as Albright fires away from the outside with right hands to the top of the head of McGuinness.
You got to think B.J. Whitmer has his eyes on this matchup. He wants to get his hands on Jimmy Jacobs once again. But of course, B.J. Whitmer very focused here this evening on his big opportunity, a world title matchup against Takeshi Morishima in your main event.
Whitmer using Jacobs. That's something we saw often in the past. This time it was Brent Albright using Jacobs as a weapon, launching him into the corner on McGinnis. Then Albright knocking Cabana down to the floor, allowing the double team again in the corner on Nigel.
Jimmy Rave softened up that ankle in the pre-match attack, and now Jimmy Jacobs going to work on it. Spinning toe hold by Jacobs, but Nigel kicks him off into the turnbuckle face first. Nigel trying to get to his corner to get Colt Cabana tagged in.
Of course, Rave and McGinnis have that fight without honor coming up in Liverpool at the end of the 50-year festival. So that feud far, far from finished as well, as Jimmy Jacobs standing on the throat of Nigel McGinnis.
Jacobs very proud of himself right now as Lacey watches on at ringside. 5 years ago, we were in the Murphy Rec Center in Philadelphia. And now Ring of Honor is all over the United States and touring the UK as well. Really growing as time goes on. Thanks to you, the fans. As now Brent Albright just exposing the leg of Nigel McGinnis to inflict more damage.
So again, driving the knee to the ankle. McGinnis feeling the effects. Crawling to the ropes, trying to buy some time. As long as he's in the ropes, Albright has to give him a clean break. McGinnis back to his feet, but in the wrong part of town. Jacobs at Albright's corner, and McGinnis, again, that leg tied up in the ropes, trying to fire his way out. Fighting two men here, but Jacobs from the outside ripping at the face.
Going to work on that leg.
Another quick tag here from Albright and Jacobs. Nigel McGinnis absorbing an awful lot of punishment here. Jacobs now just choking away at McGinnis. Propped up in the corner again, another knife edge chop from Jacobs.
And a back rake to follow up. McGinnis feeling the effects in the corner.
Tried to kick away Jimmy Jacobs from the corner, but feeling the pain in that leg. It's been worked on for several minutes here, and Jacobs smartly going right back to it. Nigel basically a one-legged wrestler right now. Back heel trip takes him off his feet, and another tag to Brent Albright.
Cabana just waiting for the tag on the other side of the ring. Can he make it over there to tag in Cabana? He's so close. But just as he was crawling toward Cabana, Albright pulled the leg of Nigel McGinnis and pulled him away from his corner.
So again, driving the knee into the hamstring at the back of the knee of McGinnis. Nothing wrong with that left hand of Nigel's. He fires it repeatedly to the midsection of Brent Albright. Forearm shot sends Albright to the corner. Cabana connects, but right back out of the corner comes Albright with a lariat.
Goes for the cover. McGinnis able to kick out Colt Cabana in to make the save just in case it was needed.
Two handfuls of hair by Albright as McGinnis is back to his feet in the center of the ring. Traps that leg, holding it close to his body, elevates him. Sunset flip by McGinnis up to his feet, doesn't go for the tag, instead hits the lariat.
Able to take Brent Albright off of his feet, buys Nigel some time. Can he make the tag here?
Very close to his corner, and he does.
Colt Cabana, the legal man. Shots for both Jacobs and Albright. Colt Cabana, a house of fire. Big body slam for Jacobs. No, lets him go. And plants Brent Albright instead. Okay, now one for Jacobs.
Pins him around and then plants him. Cabana on fire here. Taking on both members of Lacey's team.
Now he's been waiting on the apron for a long time as they picked apart the leg of Nigel McGinnis, and now Colt Cabana with Jacobs sent right into Albright.
Cabana looking for a head of steam from his own corner, charging in. Jacobs escaped the butt, but not that time.
Able to take him down.
Has Albright by the foot. Puts him back down. Reversal of the Irish whip. Cabana in the corner. Uses that turnbuckle for momentum. Go behind on the waistlock. Through the legs of Albright. Single leg trip. Takes him down. Go behind. Has him hooked. Bridge. Only two.
Very close right there for Colt Cabana.
Lacey pounding away on the apron, not pleased with the way things are going right now. Albright picked up to his feet. Cabana went for the slam, but Albright goes behind, shoves him into the corner, and gets caught by Jacobs.
It's the tag, double team work now from Lacey's team.
Boot from Cabana, ducks the clothesline on Jacobs. Now launches Jacobs into Albright and climbs the top rope. Moonsault across the chest, cover! Only two!
Jacobs able to kick out. Colt Cabana went soaring with the moonsault. But somehow Jacobs with enough in him to kick out. It's a big guy to be hitting a moonsault. Going for the Colt 45, but Brent Albright coming to the aid of Jacobs, now butterflying the arms of Albright as well, trying to block the attempt.
Clubbing away, that's a big man to get off his feet. Off the ropes he goes, and he gets caught with an elbow from Brent Albright. Once again, Jacobs used as a weapon. Sends Cabana to the ropes. Staggers to the center. Albright goes behind and drops her right off the back of his head.
The half Nelson suplex. Jacobs up top. Big senton. Cover. Nigel makes the save.
Was not sure if Nigel was going to be able to make it all the way across on that bad leg, but he was able to make the save, but he gets quickly pitched to the floor, leaving Colt Cabana alone with Jimmy Jacobs and Brent Albright. Drop toe hold. Knee strike to the face. Cabana up to his feet and caught with a spear. Covered by Jacobs.
Able to get his shoulder up is Cabana. Seeing a little bit of a preview as Cabana and Jacobs do battle here. They will be in that Windy City Death Match tomorrow night in Chicago.
Tag into Albright. Cabana struggling to his feet. Has him set up.
Maybe spike pile driver? But Nigel coming to the aid of Cabana takes Jacobs' balance away from the up top.
Albright up on the shoulders of Cabana. Tower of London, an airy crash.
Right across the knee, driving the back of his head into the knee. Nigel back to his feet. Still favoring that leg, though, that they picked apart for the majority of the beginning of this matchup.
Cabana crawling towards his corner. Gonna need to make the tag. Nigel cheering him on. There's the tag to McGinnis. Albright to his feet. European uppercut. Thrust to the throat by Nigel. Another European, and a thrust sends him to the corner. Open hand shots and elbows from McGinnis. Oh, not much momentum on that run there, but still able to connect. But he is seriously hurting there. You see him hobble, that leg causing all sorts of problems now for Nigel McGinnis. But he continues the attack on Albright in the corner. Albright puts on the brakes. Short-arm lariat.
That could be it. No, he kicks out. Nigel's trying to not let that injury take him off his game, trying to stay focused.
Gotta wonder if that's going to limit his use of the rebound lariat. So much of his legs involved in that maneuver as well. Able to elevate Albright up top.
Going for the Tower of London. Here comes Jimmy Jacobs. Puts a stop to that attempt. And now Cabana with a series of elbows on Jacobs. But he gets sent to the floor.
Boot from McGinnis on Jacobs, and a European uppercut staggers him. A second one off the ropes goes McGinnis. Well, here we see he's going to try for the rebound lariat, but Albright catches him in the crowbar.
He's got it, the crowbar cinched in by Brent Albright. Will Nigel have to tap? Jacobs standing guard. Cabana trying to come in to make the save. Jacobs holding him off in the corner. Referee asking Nigel if he needs to tap. Albright really cinching up on the crowbar.
Cabana shoved Jacobs over the top of Todd Sinclair. Connected enough to force the break. Albright let go of the hold. Cabana pitches Jacobs out to the floor. Albright back to his feet. Right hand to the midsection. And a forearm shot to Cabana. Irish whip reversed. Albright into the corner. Up and over. Cabana hanging on. Looks like he's calling McGinnis for help. Looking for that assisted Tower of London, perhaps. And they dropped him right on his head.
Albright very wisely rolling out to the floor before he can be pinned after that devastating maneuver. A double team Tower of London from Cabana and Nigel McGinnis.
Jacobs on the apron. He's got a guitar in his hands. What the heck is he doing? Looks like he's ripping at the strings of that guitar. Just handed the guitar guitar back to Lacey.
But he's got the guitar strings. Jimmy Jacobs.
He's got that wire from the guitar. The strings are made out of wire.
Cabana doesn't even see it coming right around the throat of Cabana. He's choking him out.
Cabana's throat's still recovering from that street fight in Philadelphia. They hit him with that high-heeled shoe right in his esophagus.
Oh, this could be it right here. Cabana with that wire around his throat. Rebound lariat on Jacobs. Nigel saved Cabana. Jacobs was trying to kill him.
Here are your winners, the team of Nigel McGuinness and Classic Cabana.
Nigel wins it with the rebound lariat. He'll be looking for Jimmy Rave in a fight without honor next week in the UK. While Colt Cabana and Jimmy Jacobs will try to settle things tomorrow night in Chicago in the Windy City Death Match.
Title shots here in Ring of Honor are hard to come by. You really have to go out of your way to earn a title shot here in Ring of Honor. Well, I think I've earned this title shot. I think I earned this title shot when me and Jimmy Jacobs fell off the top rope in Detroit, Michigan, and I damn near destroyed my ankle, but I got back up. I think I earned this when Super Dragon dumped me on my head, and I got back up. I think I earned this when Samoa Joe knocked me out cold with a kick to the head, and I got back up. I think I earned this when I had my flesh ripped and torn in a no-rope barbed wire match with a Necro Butcher. Well, tonight, in my title shot, I've got my work cut out for me. I face the biggest, baddest rising star in Japan, Morishima. Morishima looked unstoppable against Homicide. Now think about that for just a second. Nobody looks unstoppable against Homicide. I've been in the ring with Homicide, and I know exactly what he brings to the table. Well, people have asked me, BJ, you've been through all this. You've made all these sacrifices. Why do you keep getting back up? Well, I'll tell you why I keep getting back up. Why I kept going when my flesh got ripped and torn in that barbed wire match. It was hearing those fans. Those fans drove me to get back up. They drove me to victory here in this very building in that barbed wire match. Well, tonight, just like Homicide did in New York City when he won the title and had the biggest party of the year, tonight, I bring the biggest party of 2007 to Dayton, Ohio, when I win the Ring of Honor World Title.
Weighing 202 pounds, Jimmy Reed.
Smell like shit, fat boy.
Well, Jimmy Rave ready for his official contest this evening. Of course, attacking Nigel McGuinness to start off tonight's event. Taking on the returning Sterling Keenan. Given another look by Ring of Honor here this evening in Dayton.
Rave backs him into the corner. Has a handful of hair, but we're going to get a clean break, surprisingly enough. Rave backing away, giving Keenan a chance to come out of the corner.
For Sterling Keenan, a frequent competitor throughout the Pittsburgh region. Also parts of Ohio, has competed internationally as well. Get to see what he can do against Jimmy Rave, who has been on quite the roll the past several months here in ROH competition. The heel hook working wonders for the career of Jimmy Rave.
Big matchup here for Keenan, like you said. Try to give up-and-coming wrestlers a look, see if they're ready to earn their spot here in the ROH roster. We've given Keenan a couple of looks. He's back in one more time. This is a big test in his ROH career, or in his attempt to have an ROH career against a guy like Jimmy Rave.
Backs Rave up against the ropes. Rave holds on to the hair and holds on to that side headlock in the middle of the ring on Keenan. You know, we saw Kevin Steen and El Generico return to ROH competition last week in Philadelphia and had one hell of a tag team matchup against the Briscoes. And no doubt as a result of that showing, they will be given future opportunities here in ROH competition. The same being granted here for a wrestler such as Sterling Keenan.
Side headlock takeover by Rave. Controls Keenan, very close to the ropes. Referee checking on Keenan to see if he wants to give it up. Rave carrying all that weight on the face of Keenan, who rolls him over to a near fall.
Rave holding onto that side headlock.
Men back to their feet. Rave still has the head. Reversal though by Keenan. Arm drag takes Rave off his feet. Rave backs into the corner, trying to buy some time, but Keenan smartly staying right on top of him and returns the favor with the handful of hair, sending him all the way across the ring.
And it looked like Jimmy Rave might have caught himself a little bit low on the ring post. Keenan comes charging in the corner with the splash.
Climb the turnbuckles behind Rave. Now, Rave with all of his weight bent back over that top rope. Keenan lands on his feet on the floor, doing damage to the throat of Jimmy Rave there. Crawls back under the bottom rope. Rave struggling to catch his breath there. Forearm shot to the back. Sent to the corner one more time. Hard to the buckle goes Rave. Keenan from the other corner, head of steam, nobody there.
Keenan down on the canvas. Jimmy Rave trying to shake off the effects. He's now going to work on Keenan. Snapmare brings him down. And just stomping away on the side of the head and the face.
Rave now giving it to the crowd here. Keenan fires away to the midsection. Another shot to the chest and the stomach now. Firing away again. Another handful of hair takes him down. Rave to the second turnbuckle.
Really letting these fans hear it. Connects with Keenan. Lateral press from Rave, but Keenan able to get his shoulder up.
Rave staying right on top of him, though, not letting him get a chance to gain his composure. Belly to back suplex right in the center of the ring. Another cover here from Rave. Doesn't hook the leg, and Keenan able to get the shoulder up.
Taking a little issue with referee Jason Harding's count right there. Following up now, vertical suplex attempt by Rave. Keenan trying to use his leverage to block. Gets a vertical suplex of his own.
Nice counter to the suplex by Keenan. Both men back to their feet. Keenan ducks the clothesline and connects with one of his own. Rave drop down one more time. Big boot to the face.
Come on.
Rave in the corner now. Keenan comes charging right into the boot from Rave. Spine buster from Keenan. Gets all of it. Turns him over. Tying up the legs. Walking in the stretch. Will Jimmy Rave have to give it up right here? Referee asking if he's had enough. Rave not tapping.
Very far from the ropes, though. He's in trouble here. Trying to crawl, it looks like, towards the ropes. Keenan really cranking down. Rave just dragging all of his weight. Very close to the ropes. And makes it to the ropes, forcing the break.
Rave back to his feet. Keenan took too much time. Rave with a knee to the midsection. Looking for the pedigree possibly, butterflying those arms. But a backdrop from Keenan. Sunset flip. Only two for Jimmy Rave.
Keenan quickly to his feet, elevates Rave up on his shoulders. Into a backbreaker, cover!
Only a near fall.
Both men trading near falls here. Keenan back to his feet, Rave to his feet, but not looking where he was. Dragon screw, though, he catches him.
Going to work on that leg, looking to cinch in the heel hook. The heel hook. Will Sterling Keenan have to tap out? Reaching for the ropes. No, he's forced to tap. Jimmy Rave with a submission victory.
By submission, Jimmy Rave.
Jimmy Rave heading toward the fight without honor against Nigel McGuinness as the 5th year festival heads to Liverpool.
Introducing first, be accompanied by Jimmy Jacobs,
You know you love me.
Coliseum.
I'm the greatest women's wrestler in the entire world. He knows it. You know it. I can't I don't like this music. It's not getting me pumped up. I'm not liking it.
And these two women not wasting any time getting the action underway. Daisy Hayes getting her hands on Lacey once again, this time in a singles matchup between these two competitors.
These two no strangers to one another. The feud between Lacey and her man and Daisy Hayes and her friends Colt Cabana and BJ Whitmer has been raging here, and it continues in a singles match between these two. Bez press from the Hayes, and she's firing away with lefts and rights on the Lacey.
Oh, these two women were part of a big 6-person mixed street fight in Philadelphia last week. And they both really held their own, not only against one another, but against the men as well. This time they only have each other to deal with. And it's a traditional wrestling matchup. The first time that Daisy Hayes and Lacey are doing battle in a singles match here in Ring of Honor.
Lacey had her attention turned right there on the outside, got caught with a drop kick. Jimmy Jacobs on the floor consoling Lacey.
Of course, also in Manhattan, Daisy Hayes was part of a tag team matchup, and Lacey made her way to ringside and chose to brawl all the way back to the locker room with Daisy Hayes.
Hayes connects with that crossbody off the top, wiping out both Lacey and Jimmy Jacobs on the floor.
Daisy Hayes with the upper hand here, pitches Lacey back inside the ring. Lacey trying to get out of harm's way, rolling all the way out to the other side on the ringside floor. Daisy Hayes advances and Lacey doesn't know where to go, trying to use Jimmy Jacobs to run some interference. And she just trips Daisy Hayes and drives her down on the floor.
Lacey able to gain the advantage now thanks to Jimmy Jacobs diverting the attention of of Daisy Hayes away momentarily, and now her head just getting bounced off the concrete floor there.
Kicking away at the chest of Daisy Hayes. Lacey with a handful of hair now. Sends Daisy chest first into the steel. She could have cracked ribs after that.
Hung over the guardrail into the front row here. Lacey continuing to dish out the punishment on the floor.
But Daisy trying her best to kick away at the midsection of Lacey with repeated shots to the chest. And now right across the throat of Daisy Hayes, making it hard for her to breathe.
Handfuls of hair now, sending her back under the bottom rope. Still near the ring post. Hayes trying to fight her way off.
Trying to kick away at Lacey, but now bending Daisy Hayes around the ring post. Referee trying to get Lacey to break it and bring the action back inside, but doing more damage, just folding Daisy in half.
Momentarily listened to referee's instructions and did break, but then right back to the hold. Now in the ring they go. Boot to the midsection. And another. Stomping away repeatedly.
Again and again down across the chest of Daisy Hayes. Lacey being very aggressive and talking some trash, but Daisy firing back. Shot to the midsection of Lacey. Comes charging. Lacey ducks the attempt and a neck breaker. Drives Daisy down to the canvas. Forearms now from Lacey to the side of the head of Daisy Hayes.
Oh, no cover here, not looking for a victory, just trying to punish the Hayes with right hands. Now a cover. Hayes able to get the shoulder up.
You know, we've seen women's matches on occasion here in Ring of Honor, but not until the issue really brewed between Lacey and Daisy Hayes have we seen a true feud, a true rivalry that was based on hatred, until Lacey and Daisy Hayes here, exacting revenge on one another in this matchup.
Another near fall for Lacey as she's starting to assert herself here on the Hayes. Struggling to get back to her feet, firing away at the midsection. Not a lot of steam on those shots, and one right hand from Lacey sends Daisy Hayes right back to the canvas.
Just standing on Daisy Hayes' throat. Draws a warning from referee Jason Harding. As Lacey continues to go to work on Daisy. Face first into the top turnbuckle.
Still has control of the Hayes in that corner.
Kicking away at the back.
And again, repeatedly to the back of the Hayes. More damage done.
People know what my doctor says.
Again, mouthing off to the official. Leaving that back exposed in the corner. Daisy Hayes needs to move out of the way. Here comes Lacey. Big knee right to the back of Daisy Hayes. Even more damage done.
Nowhere for Hayes to go in the corner. Lacey continues to dish out the punishment.
Now she's going to do it again. Comes charging, but this time Daisy moves out of the way.
Ducks that clothesline. Belly to back. She just dropped on the back of her neck.
Folded Daisy in half with that suplex. Lacey now goes for the cover. Only two. Daisy hanging in there.
Hayes showing tremendous fire here, able to get the shoulder up one more time. But how much more punishment can the Hayes take?
Well, she's firing back at the midsection of Lacey. Daisy Hayes may be a small frame competitor, but she has a lot of fight in her.
Lacey again puts on the brakes. She's got the Shinamaki.
Well, like she might be going for that Cobra Clutch backbreaker, but Daisy put on the brakes, but still has the Cobra Clutch cinched in, looking to wear down Daisy Hayes. As she's going limp, and Lacey still has it cinched in.
Variation on a sleeper. You can lose consciousness in this hold, but the Hayes finding her way back to her feet. Driven down across the knee with the backbreaker.
Crowd trying to encourage Daisy Hayes to get back to her feet. Continue to fight here. Lacey goes for the cover finally, but she kicks out and...
Is that Delirious in the crowd?
Well, Delirious, I don't know why he's in the crowd. He's out of action this weekend with a severe concussion sustained during that match against Roderick Strong last weekend. Some open hand strikes from Daisy Hayes, and Lacey fires back.
These girls just exchanging slaps, and the Hayes coming out on the better end of it. Off the rope she goes and takes Lacey down.
Big palm strike from Daisy Hayes. Has Lacey reeling back into the corner, kicking away at the midsection.
Hayes brings her out. Lacey hits the corner, but follows in, does Hayes, but gets caught with a boot. Lacey up to the second rope. Hayes trying to fight her off, firing away at the midsection. Climbing up there as well. Lacey set on the top turnbuckle.
Jockeying for position. Who's going to get the maneuver? Daisy Hayes looking for possibly a superplex.
Lacey's all the way up top, and off she comes the hard way.
Superplex by Daisy Hayes. Needs to go for the cover. Rolls her over. Cover. 1, 2, no, only 2. And Jimmy Jacobs very happy at ringside, encouraging his woman on in this match.
Well, at least he thinks it's his woman.
As much as it pains me to call him his woman. Daisy Hayes up top, going for the missile dropkick, swatted out of midair by Lacey.
Struggling back to her feet, Lacey now. Go behind by the Hayes. German suplex with a bridge. And Lacey gets the shoulder up.
Only gets a near fall right there with the German suplex. Daisy Hayes now looking for the heart punch. Connects off the ropes. Yakuza kick to the side of the head. And again, 2 Yakuza kicks from Daisy Hayes. Lacey in the ropes. And the attention of the official distracted. Oh, a spear from Jimmy Jacobs. He just speared Daisy down to the mat. Cover by Lacey. No. And that is 3. Jimmy Jacobs with the assist. Lacey wins, but it's because of Jimmy Jacobs. He should be ashamed of himself for spearing the Hayes. You better believe she'll be back for some more revenge.
Are you here to get back at Roderick? Are you here just chilling, watching the show? What is going on here? All right, obviously Delirious has a lot to say for himself, so let's get back to the show.
Roderick Strong, February 16th, 2007 is a date that you're going to look back at as a focal point, as a turning point in your career, because you see, that's the night you decided to turn your back on me. That's the night you decided that you wanted to be a leader and you wanted to start your own faction. We both know there's strength in numbers, Roderick, so you get your army and I'm going to get mine. I'm going to find the best young talent in this business, whether it's here in Ring of Honor, whether it's down in FIP, or whether it's across the oceans. I'm going to find them, and I'm going to bring them here, and we're going to wage war on you. But first things first, tonight, Matt Sydal, you've got something I want. You see, you've been walking around with a real cocky smirk on your face. Well, tonight I'm going to wipe it off when I take the Open the Brave Gate title, and I take it with me back to Dragon Gate. And then when I'm done doing that, I'm going to sit myself down with a pen in hand and a notebook, and I'm going to see just exactly who opens my eyes here in Ring of Honor.
Bringing to
And we are ready for a very special matchup as part of the 5th year festival. 3 competitors who are a part of the very first Ring of Honor event to do battle in a 3-way matchup. It's the notorious 187 Homicide, the Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels, and Jay Briscoe.
First pinfall is going to win this matchup. Allison Danger, you see her on the outside. Not only was she 2 on the first show, as a quick cover there by Daniels, she was in the first segment on the first show.
In the corner of the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels in this one.
Cartwheel over by Daniels, boot to the midsection. Jay off the ropes, no reversal. Daniels hits the ropes. Hip tossed off his feet. Back up. Drop kick right on the button. Keep your eye on Homicide, perched in the far corner off the top. But gets caught with an inverted atomic drop by Jay Briscoe. Cross body off the ropes. Cover! Only able to get 2.
You know, Danger in the first segment on the first ROH show was Jay Briscoe that was in the first official match on that first show.
And he is firing away the top of the head of the former world champ.
Of course, at the time, Mark Briscoe was too young to legally compete in the state of Pennsylvania. It shows how much the Briscoes have come in the time since, how far they've come.
Elbow from Daniels, cover, and Homicide right there to break up the pin. Big right hand from Daniels right on the button, but Homicide fires right back. Trading right hands. Daniels getting the better of it. Sends Homicide to the canvas.
Christopher Daniels was in that legendary 3-way that main evented the very first ROH show as well. And that's why we're seeing a 3-way matchup here in this match.
Homicide right back to work on Jay Briscoe. Off the ropes he goes. Reversal to a belly-to-belly by Jay. Using Homicide's own momentum against him there. Right back up, though, and a right hand from Jay Briscoe. Another one to the top of the head of Homicide.
Meanwhile, Christopher Daniels has worked his way back to his feet, came charging with the forearm, connected with Homicide, and a single-man flapjack from Jay Briscoe on Christopher Daniels. Chin breaker right there for Homicide.
Back to his feet. Double clothesline takes both men down.
Jay Briscoe looking very good here, working over both of his opponents.
Homicide rolls out to the floor. Allison Danger checking on Christopher Daniels.
He's in the ropes.
Jay Briscoe staying right on top of his man. Snapmares him in the center of the ring and grabs a rear chin lock, driving the knee right between the shoulder blades of the Fallen Angel.
Well, he's wearing him down like this. You got to keep your eye on Homicide if you're Jay Briscoe. Make sure that he doesn't come flying off the top rope or jump you from behind.
Daniels back to his feet with elbows, frees himself. You see Homicide still on the floor as he watches Christopher Daniels get elevated with that backdrop. Homicide in, right hand to the midsection. Snapmares Jay Briscoe off his feet. Hard kick to the back.
Homicide standing tall. And now blatant choke right in front of the referee, doing whatever it takes to wear down his opponents. The former ROH World Champion Homicide. Chin breaker right there for Christopher Daniels. Now takes his attention to Jay Briscoe.
Hand in the corner, brings Briscoe out, follows him in, clothesline in the corner, down goes Jay Briscoe. Homicide with a head of steam! Driving the knee right to the side of the face.
And charging full force.
Picks Jay back up. Overhand chop to the chest. And another. Daniels from behind with a forearm. Homicide reverses. Daniels reverses. Homicide reverses again and sends Daniels to the near corner. Now it's Daniels to the far corner. Homicide with Jay Briscoe. Reversal by Briscoe. Homicide in. Looking for a monkey flip. Daniels lands on his feet and connects with a clothesline.
Blue Thunder from Christopher Daniels. Back to his feet, the only man standing at this point. Christopher Daniels takes his attention to Jay Briscoe, pulls him back up. Big body slam.
Scooping a slam on Homicide right across the chest of Jay Briscoe.
Christopher Daniels, one half of the ROH World Tag Team Champions. Assisted leg drop. He will be defending the titles along with his partner Matt Sydal against the Briscoes tomorrow night in Chicago.
Daniels going right back to work on both men. Homicide on his stomach. Now sets Briscoe on top of Homicide and has a cover clutch.
his opponents at once. Unable to get a submission, though. He did wear them down.
And right back to Jay Briscoe. Drives him face first to the corner. Homicide to his feet in the other corner of the ring. Daniels brings out Briscoe, reversal. Daniels sent to the corner. Homicide elevates him up and over. Right hand sends him down to the floor, and Briscoe hits the post.
Went for that shoulder block in the corner. And so much momentum, he drove his own shoulder into the ring post, and now Homicide standing over Jay Briscoe, pulls him back up. Arm in hammerlock position, nice roll up here from Homicide. Submission predicament here. Will Jay Briscoe have to give it up?
Come on, Jay.
Todd Sinclair right there checking on Jay Briscoe as he's trying to make it to the ropes to force the break, and a leg drop from Christopher Daniels does the trick just in case.
First pinfall wins it in this one. Ties up the legs and pulls back on the chinlock on Christopher Daniels. Jay Briscoe back up and stomping away on the back of the head of Homicide.
Clubbing away at the back is Jay Briscoe, now just stepping on Homicide as he's draped over the bottom rope. Daniels with a headbutt to the midsection.
Jay feeling the effects. Daniels pulls him to the center of the ring. Measures him for that elbow right to the back of the head.
Stays right on top of him. Another headbutt drives him down to the canvas. Turns his attention to Homicide with a headbutt. Homicide back to his feet. Boot to the midsection. Backs Daniels to the ropes. Reversal, Homicide sent to the ropes. Drops down, Homicide rolls through. Bipasso, Daniels off the ropes. Overhead, belly to belly. Homicide back to his feet, but so's Jay Briscoe, who gets caught with a neck breaker.
Homicide on a roll here. Doing damage to both Christopher Daniels and Jay Briscoe. Daniels back up, so is Homicide. Firing away on both Daniels and Briscoe.
Right hands continuing, sending both men down to the canvas. Daniels hits the ropes. Elbow sends Daniels to the floor. Briscoe pitched over the top to the floor.
Daniels in the process. Keep your eye on Homicide.
Tope con hilo from Homicide wipes out both Jay Briscoe and Christopher Daniels on the floor.
Out here in Dayton to their feet. Christopher Daniels sent back inside the ring by Homicide.
Staying right on top of his man while he has the advantage.
Tosses him overhead with the suplex. Lateral press, but Jay Briscoe stomping away to break up the pin attempt.
Homicide firing away right hands to Jay Briscoe. Off the ropes he goes. Double shoulder tackle though from Daniels, and Briscoe sends Homicide to the canvas. And Zagiri from the Fallen Angel connects.
He's got Homicide. Into the ropes he goes. Stuck with the clothesline. Big clothesline from Homicide. But a boot from Jay Briscoe sends him down.
Homicide walked right into that super kick. Never saw it coming.
Danger tending to Daniels on the floor. Meanwhile, Homicide out to the floor himself. Jay Briscoe, the only man inside the ring. Helps out both Daniels and Homicide on the floor.
Hearing it from the crowd. Jay Briscoe picks Daniels back up and pitches him into the ring. Daniels, though, back to his feet, avoids a quick cover. Face first suplex.
Only a near fall right there. Daniels able to get his shoulder up. Jay Briscoe looking to follow up now. Forearms to the side of the head of Christopher Daniels. Comes off the ropes, but a boot to the gut from the Fallen Angel. Elbows to the side of the head of Daniels. Jay Briscoe now. Fisherman Buster. Cover. Homicide breaks it up with the back chop.
Homicide staying right on top of Briscoe. Arm drag and twist sends Briscoe to the corner. Follows him in. Looking for the monkey flip, but gets turned back around. Jay Briscoe followed him up. Homicide set on the top turnbuckle as Jay fires away to his back. Looking for a superplex here, but Homicide trying to fight him off. Face first DDT.
Only two. Gets him in proper position. Homicide going up top. Big senton off the top rope. Daniels makes the save right there. Saves the match.
Just in the nick of time. Homicide may have had Briscoe there. Right hands from Homicide. Daniels staggers. A third one sends him back to the ropes. Homicide to the far side. Lands on his feet after the tilt-a-whirl and fires away again with right hands. Daniels ducks the clothesline. Death Valley driver.
Cover. Only two. With a Koji clutch. Will he give it up right here? And notice Jay Briscoe almost lifeless, unable to break it up. He's still feeling the effects on the other side of the ring. Homicide squirms his way backwards so that his foot reaches the bottom rope to force a break.
Three men absorbing tremendous punishment here, but continuing on. Daniels with the advantage on Homicide, has him up. Drives him down to the canvas, and now he's calling for the best moonsault ever. Homicide up, Daniels lands on his feet. Runs into the boot of Homicide. Went for the tornado DDT, but instead gets caught with a boot from Jay Briscoe, who runs into an STO. Cover by Daniels.
No, only two. Sinclair in perfect position to make that count. Daniels now with Jay Briscoe looking for the Angel's Wings. As again we see Delirious in the crowd. Blocking the Angel's Wings attempt and backdrops him overhead.
Delirious looked like he was in the exact same position he was in the first time we saw him. I don't think he's moved an inch.
Just sort of blindly staring at the action. He's all excited, I guess.
Daniels set up on top. Homicide still on the floor. Briscoe knocked down to the canvas, but pops right back up. Again, Daniels firing away. Briscoe again knocked down, but pops back up. Forearm shot rocks the fallen Angel. Briscoe all the way up to the top. Daniels still seated, firing away. Palm shot.
And he went down hard. Homicide though, ace crusher off the top. Homicide wins this battle of ROH Originals. Christopher Daniels and Jay Briscoe will square off tomorrow night once again, and it will be for the World Tag Team titles.
from Japan, my friends. Lose it! Who's chasing you after you break into the movie?
A handshake to start this thing off. It is the very first time that a Dragon Gate championship is defended on U.S. soil, as Matt Sydal, who won the Open the Brave Gate title from Masato Yoshino back on February 12th in Kobe, Japan, puts it on the line here in Dayton, Ohio against Austin Aries.
Aries himself, a former ROH World Champion, World Tag Team Champion, as Matt Sydal is currently one half of the World Tag Team Champions. So a lot of gold bandied about between these two individuals here.
Two wrestlers known for their quickness, known for their agility. Matt Sydal, a great high flyer, and the same can be said for Austin Aries. Likes to put the 450 splash to use. Matt Sydal known for that Sydal press. The shooting star of Matt Sydal off the top rope.
One question you got to have about Austin Aries and his quickness is how much is that nagging ankle injury that he's been dealing with since Final Battle 2006 is going to affect him. The last couple of times we've seen him in the ring, that ankle has been an issue. Got to wonder if it's going to hamper his quickness here in a matchup against a guy like Matt Sydal who wants to keep the pace as fast as he possibly can. Sydal controlling the arm of Aries in the center of the ring.
Of course, Roderick Strong and Austin Aries had a falling out in Manhattan last week. Roderick Strong turning on Austin Aries and decided to form a group along with Davey Richards called the No Remorse Corps. Austin Aries has said that he is going to do the very same thing and lead his own stable of wrestlers. Young competitors, bring them to the top of the card, much like he led Generation Next in the very same way.
You gotta figure, where is Jack Evans going to be in all this, as these two guys trading shots here in the center of the ring. Evans, who's not here this weekend, he is touring Japan for the Dragon Gate promotion, has said that he's going to lead his own faction of wrestlers here.
And you got to wonder who attacked Jack Evans backstage as well. He didn't even see who it was. Said he was able to rule out Davey Richards. Of course, that happened back in New York City.
Head scissors here from Sydal on Aries. Really cranking down on the head. Aries rolls over to his knees. Tries the headstand, but he's pushed back down by Sydal. Trademark escape from Austin Aries is that headstand into a dropkick. Instead, he changed it up into a head scissors of his own. I had a feeling Sydal would have had that scouted and went a different direction and was able to reverse the hold.
Well, these two men know each other very well, having been former stablemates together in Generation Next.
Now it's Sydal struggling to find his way out of the head scissors. He makes his way up to his feet. Nips up, back to his feet. Aries, though, grabs the head. Has the side headlock as Sydal backs him into the corner.
It's interesting to see just over a period of time how wrestlers develop. You know, Generation Next worked their way up the card, became the major players here in Ring of Honor, and now they're all looking to lead their own stables against one another here in 2007.
Something I never thought I would have seen is Roderick Strong and Austin Aries not side by side in an ROH ring. Instead, they'll be looking across the ring at each other from now on as Seidel starts to take command here. Up and over he goes and drives him down to the canvas with an arm drag. Back to his feet. Tries to use the ropes for momentum. Another arm drag takes Aries down. Ducks the clothesline. Seidel off the ropes. Ducks the back elbow. And Aries catches him and plants him face first.
Well, Seidel was going to go for a head scissors, but Aries just caught him and used his strength to drive Matt Seidel into the canvas, chest and face first.
Aries clubbing blow to the back of the neck of Seidel. Starting to take control here as he backs him to the ropes. Seidel hanging on, puts on the brakes, sort of slipped off there. Aries drives a kick to the chest. Now Seidel off the ropes, hangs on, and Aries goes up and over but lands on the apron. Seidel gets caught with an elbow. Aries on the apron. Went for the senton, but Seidel avoided it. But does not avoid that big left hand as he's knocked down to the floor.
Aries out to the floor. Here comes Seidel. Baseball slide drop kick.
You saw when Aries landed, he came up a little bit limp there. He kind of hobbled. That ankle obviously still causing him problems.
Trips up Seidel as he was about to hit the ropes. And there he gets that senton, bringing himself back inside the ring. And a frog elbow.
Only able to get a near fall. Seidel able to kick out.
Aries looking to make history here in Dayton, Ohio. Looking to earn a Dragon Gate championship in the middle of Ohio, of all places. Of course, Austin Aries, a veteran of Dragon Gate competition as well.
Driving the shoulder to the midsection of Seidel, trying to shake some feeling into that left ankle again. Rolls into the corner and drives the shoulder one more time to the midsection of Matt Seidel. Gut wrench suplex takes him up and over. Cover.
That was interesting. Instead of getting a running start for the momentum, since he knew he had that bad wheel, just rolling toward Matt Seidel to get the necessary momentum to drive into the corner.
It's again Seidel's head bouncing off the turnbuckle in the corner. Aries going to bring him out. Reversal by Seidel. Aries hits the corner. Back elbow from Aries connects right on the jaw. The second rope he goes all the way to the top. Took a little too much time, and Seidel is able to follow up from behind. Has him set up in the corner, and that ankle is being hung upside down between the ropes. Tremendous pain of Austin Aries right there, and Seidel's really wrenching down.
Doing as much damage as possible. Aries with nowhere to go, hung up in the ropes.
No, all the time, don't worry.
And Seidel again, using the ropes for some extra leverage to inflict more punishment on that ankle.
See Aries wincing in pain. Drop kick from Seidel from behind.
Stay up there for a little.
Seidel in control. Has the decided advantages. We know that there is that injury on Austin Aries, but Matt Seidel not nursing any injuries that we know about.
Drives the boot to the midsection and goes right back to the leg of Austin Aries.
Again, trying to use the ropes for some extra punishment to be dealt out here as the leg tied up in those ropes.
Aries seated position in the corner. Seidel makes his way to the other side of the ring. Apron and drives the boots right into the midsection of Aries.
Seidel, a very confident wrestler. There's the lateral press, but not hooking the leg. Aries able to kick out.
Chose instead did Seidel to drive the forearm across the face. More punishment, but Aries able to kick out.
Clubbing away on the back of Austin Aries, firing away at the midsection of Seidel. Again, going after that leg.
That ankle grapevine.
Very good job by Seidel of staying on the body part and focusing on it. Aries does reach the ropes, though, and Seidel must release the hold.
Aries having all sorts of trouble making it back to his feet. Seidel smartly staying right on top of him. Drives him back first to the canvas. And now Seidel goes to the corner.
Can you do
Climbs to the second turnbuckle.
Cannonball leg drop, but took too much time. Aries saw it coming, moved out of the way. Still in a lot of pain himself, but now Matt Sydal nursing an injury as well. Missing that leg drop.
Sydal looked a little more embarrassed than hurt right there, slamming his hands to the canvas in disgust, but now he's getting bounced around like a pinball by Austin Aries. Back to his feet, Sydal reverses Aries off the ropes. Sydal went for the leapfrog and gets caught with an inverted atomic drop. Ducks the left hand, does Aries. And a regular atomic drop sends him up and over to the floor.
Aries goes soaring through the ropes and wipes out Sydal on the floor. Had enough momentum on his side to connect with the dive despite that injury. Still hobbling around out on the floor.
Continue to fire away with left hands on Sydal. More damage done as he pitches him back into the ring.
You know, the adrenaline's pumping through Austin Aries at this point, trying to not let that injured ankle get into his head as he's focused on taking the Open the Brave Gate Championship.
Stand by Aries, sets Sydal in position. Corkscrew press right across the legs. Sydal able to kick out. It's normally a move that Aries uses on the chest of his opponent like that right there. The quebrada, only able to get two, but that corkscrew press landed on the legs, unable to get the 3 count.
One up. Aries out to the apron, climbing the turnbuckles in the corner.
A little gingerly as he makes his way up to the top. And again, Sydal knocks him down.
Again, with a bad ankle, it's hard to get your balance up on the top rope. That bought Matt Sydal a little bit of time to catch Aries before he could come flying.
Sydal lands on his feet, Aries up top. Missile drop kick connects.
Sends Sydal all the way into the corner. Running drop kick from Austin Aries. Goes for the cover. Sydal gets his shoulder up.
Aries back to his feet gingerly one more time, picking up Matt Sydal.
He'll be looking for the brainbuster here. Signaling he's going to finish him off. But Sydal staying on his feet, waist lock. Standing switch by Aries. Elbows now from Matt Sydal. Moonsault catches the head and drives the leg across the chest. Only 2 for Matt Sydal.
And both legs hooked, but Aries somehow able to get the shoulder up.
Got him in position here, maybe taking too much time. Standing moonsault, but Aries gets the feet up right into the chest.
Just as you said, took a little bit too much time. Showboating here allowed Aries to recover and get the feet up. Aries, though, sent into the corner. The feet get caught by Sydal. Wheelbarrow has him on his shoulders. Aries trying to fight him off.
Oh, so close. He almost had him right there.
Sydal dropped Aries right on the back of his head. Somehow Austin Aries gets the shoulder up.
Sydal back to his standing position. He's got Aries down. Looking to make his first successful defense of the Open the Brave Gate title here in America. Didn't really hear it is driver, but Aries trying to fight his way out of it. Elbows. Converts. Brainbuster. No. Knee strike from Sydal into an inside cradle. Only 2.
Another near fall from Sydal. Ducks a clothesline. Backslide. Aries right back up and kicks him in the face. There's the brainbuster.
Only 2. He was able to kick out.
Aries now drags him back to the corner, likes to utilize the 450 after the brainbuster. All the way to the top again. Gingerly trying to steady himself, allows Sydal once again to make his way back to his feet.
Forearm shots for Matt Sydal. Forearming back. An exchange between these two men. Sydal again pushed down inside the ring. Aries up top. Head head scissors from Seidel launches Austin Aries into the center of the ring.
Then back to their feet. Another head scissors. Glancing blow sends Aries to the turnbuckle.
Here it is, driver. He gets it. Not going for the cover. He's going to follow up with something high flying. Up top goes Matt Seidel.
Here is your winner and still open the Brave Gate champion, Matt Seidel.
History made as Seidel successfully defends the Open the Brave Gate Championship. Can Matt Seidel and Christopher Daniels defeat the Briscoes tomorrow night in Chicago? And what will happen next with Aries and the No Remorse Corps? Who will Aries get to join his new stable? A lot of questions to be answered.
With the No Remorse Corps, with a mental generation, it's agony on the waters, and delirium is its best.
This is Rebecca Bayless here at Intermission, Dayton, Ohio. It's night 3 of Ring of Honor's 5th year festival, and tonight is actually 5 years to the day that Ring of Honor had its first show in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at the Murphy Rec Center. Now, on a personal note, I can say I am definitely very happy I'm not in the same place I was in Ring of Honor a few years ago. But I'm standing here right now with Lacey. Lacey was victorious tonight in her match against Daisy Hayes. But I have to tell you, even though it was an impressive match, I don't exactly feel like it was very fair for Daisy. Fair? What are you talking about fair? You know, all that matters is I got the win. 1, 2, 3. And Jimmy, let me tell you, you being out there with me, watching me get that victory, 1, 2, 3, it felt so great having you there supporting me ringside, you know? And lately, you've really been stepping your game up, Jimmy. I have to say, I've been pretty impressed. And tonight, I mean, the way you choked Cabana out with that guitar string, just, oh, it was great. So, let me tell you something. Tomorrow night in Chicago, this Windy City death match, wins and losses are not important to me, Jimmy. I want you to kill Cabana. Kill him. And if you can do that for me, remember what I told you last weekend? It's just a little more, just one more addition more. So, yeah, you just,
Do your job and kill Cabana. Everything's good to go. Lacey, number 1, right here.
I think the winds of change are in the air. The season of love begins tomorrow, and I'll do anything to ensure that happens.
All right, let's go to the second half.
We got big plans, a big man with a big plan, huh? Who's looking good? Get out of my face, you big time, baby. Hey, Dayton, Ohio, I want you to step back and appreciate the fact that you're looking at the best agent in professional sports today, Sweet and Sour. Very sweet. And you know, anybody worth his salt knows that my main man, my protege, the #1 athlete in Ring of Honor, Chris Hero, right now is enjoying a very successful tour of Japan with a prestigious Noah promotion. And it's no coincidence that 60 days within the retention of my services, Chris Hero is in Japan. And everybody in the Ring of Honor locker room better note that fact. Chris Hero right now is enjoying first-class accommodation everywhere he goes in Japan. And when he comes back to the States, it's going to be exactly the same thing. First-class accommodation. First class starts with one place tonight. The man to my right, Mr. Tank Tolan. Tank Tolan is a superior natural athlete. Natural athlete. And upon Chris Hero's return to the United States, Tank Tolan is going to be Chris Hero's fitness instructor and will continue the training of Chris Hero. Now the man to my left tonight is Mr. Mitch Franklin. And Mitch, I didn't tell you backstage why I wanted you to come out here right now. And I feel a little bit mad, but it's because you are the opposite of everything that Tank Tolan is. You are not a superior athlete, you are an inferior athlete. Look at the tan on you, you've got no tan. My God, kid, you probably weigh as much as Tank Tolan's left pectoral muscle. So tonight, Mitch, what Tank Tolan is going to do is show the whole world what happens to an inferior athlete. That's exactly what's going to happen to Claudio Castagnoli, and it's exactly what's going to happen to you. Show him, Tank.
Tank Tolan just clotheslining Mitch Franklin.
The new personal trainer of Chris Hero, brought to the ring by Larry Sweeney, just tossing poor Mitch Franklin across the ring.
Tank Tolan, a natural athlete, and apparently Mitch Franklin, an inferior athlete. Gonna make an example of this kid.
Tolan is put together, there's no doubt about it.
Very powerful man as he just manhandles Mitch Franklin here.
Putting the boots to him in the corner.
That's right, he's an
Snapmare brings him down to the canvas. Toland off the ropes. Great momentum, big kick. Chris Hero currently touring with Pro Wrestling Noah in Japan. But Larry Sweeney here introducing Hero's new personal trainer. I guess maybe he's gonna whip Hero into better shape, maybe?
Apparently he thinks he needs a little bit more work in the gym, and this guy certainly seems to know what he's doing in that respect. Tremendous physique on Toland. Look at Mitch Franklin firing back. This kid's showing some heart here.
Got a lot of guts, that's for sure. Trying to get the hip toss.
Toland blocks it though, but gets taken over by the Rana. Back to his feet, misses the clothesline. One more time for the Rana, takes him down.
Able to get the momentum twice to take Toland off of his feet. And Mitch Franklin trying to keep the momentum on his side, climbing up top now as Toland is back to his feet inside the ring.
Larry Sweeney can't be happy with how things are going here. Oh, big mistake though. He catches him like a small child. Has him on his shoulders. Mitch Franklin nowhere to go, but up and down.
Well, Tank Toland, just like Larry Sweeney said, making an example out of Mitch Franklin. for 6-man mayhem. No tags are necessary, only 2 wrestlers in the ring at a time. As soon as one wrestler leaves the ring, another may enter, and the first fall wins it. We have Peli Primo and Roderick Strong, who look to be starting this matchup out inside the ring, as well Double C, Claudio Castagnoli, M-Dog Matt Cross, Shingo, and Mark Briscoe.
Castagnoli on the outside having a little fun at the expense of young Peli Primo, trying to get into his head as he's about to lock up with Roderick Strong, the FIP heavyweight champ.
Collar and elbow tie-up and just using his strength to power Peli down to the mat out of the lockup.
Peli giving up a lot of size to everyone in this matchup.
And he usually does, but you can't take anything away from Peli Primo because he's got a lot of fire, a lot of heart, a lot of determination, and he has surprised a lot of people with some big victories here in Ring of Honor competition.
He's got a lot of quickness too, and he's using it right there. Catches Roderick Strong with a head scissors and then an arm drag, and a second one takes the FIP champ off his feet. Primo, though, runs right into Roderick Strong and a backbreaker.
And the backbreaker put a stop to all that quickness of Peli Primo, who gets launched into the corner. Feeling the effects on his back, but Mark Briscoe takes this opportunity to enter the matchup.
Spin heel kick takes Roderick off his feet. Castagnoli now in. Northern Light suplex with a bridge, but Double C able to kick out. Mark, though, staying right on top of him, firing away with forearms. Castagnoli puts on the brakes, drops down, and Briscoe goes over the top to the floor.
As he leaves the ring, enters Matt Cross with Claudio Castagnoli. Monkey flip, but M-Dog basically landing on his feet, and Castagnoli sent to the floor. In comes Shingo, sees this opportunity, chopping away at the chest of Matt Cross.
Reversal by Cross, Shingo off the ropes, drops down, up and over he goes. Caught by Shingo, but Cross able to land on his feet. Gets out of the waist lock and runs into a drop kick. Off the rope, shoulder tackle, and Shingo shows his power. Scoop, and has Cross up, and drops it right across the top turnbuckle, the top rope.
Feeling the effects, but Roderick Strong from behind now, working as a team with Shingo here. But again, Matt Cross landing on his feet, great agility. Drop kicking both men down and out to the floor. In comes Claudio once again.
Ducks the clothesline, does Cross. Round he goes and takes him off with the head scissors. Shingo and Roderick Strong on the floor. These two no strangers to one another.
Breaks him out on the dive on one side of the ring, turns around and wipes him out on the floor on the other side. And now Peli Primo and Mark Briscoe doing battle. Through the legs goes Mark Briscoe. Oh, what a kick right to the back of the head of Peli Primo.
Sends the little guy to the corner and stays right on him with a hard chop. Second chop from Briscoe, and the echo resonates across the building here in Dayton. Primo on the second turnbuckle, puts on the brakes.
Another head scissors, sending him all the way across the ring. Peli comes charging into the elbow. Mark Briscoe now, moonsault press off the top. And now a head scissors applied, keeping Peli grounded. That'll put a stop to his quickness. And now Claudio Castagnoli. Modified abdominal stretch in a seated position on Mark Briscoe. 3 men involved in a submission hold inside the ring here. And now here comes Roderick Strong, grabbing hold of the arms of Claudio Castagnoli, tying him up.
Cross-face chicken wing from Roderick Strong.
4 men involved in a submission predicament. Here comes M-Dog, grabs hold of the leg, grapevines that on Peli Primo.
Shingo, the last man in this ring, and he grabs a head scissor of his own. All 6 men.
The only one not feeling the effects of a hold right in this position is Roderick Strong, and of course Shingo just had the head scissors applied. That's why they are both on their feet now. And the other 4 competitors in the matchup sliding out to the floor, it looks like.
Shingo and Primo still in the ring. Hard slam. Shingo showing his strength. Grabs a handful of hair and picks young Peli back up.
Just swinging him around and around and finally releases him. And with authority down to the mat.
Only able to get 2 as Primo somehow able to kick out. Strong into the ring. Apparently they both wanted a piece of Pelly Primo. Now Castagnoli wants. Apparently everybody wants a piece of Pelly Primo.
Why is everybody picking on Pelly?
Castagnoli's going to be the one who stays, apparently. Scooping a hard slam. Picks Pelly right back up, and again, slams to the canvas. Cover by Castagnoli.
But Pelly kicks out. You have to admire his determination. There's the tag. Shingo now steps through the ropes and inside the ring.
Sort of a tag. He kind of chopped him in the chest.
That counts as a tag. Pelly struggling to get back to his feet, but Shingo, very powerful wrestler, just pounding away.
Somehow Pelly back to his feet, trying to fire his way back. Forearm shot, and another from Pelly.
He's giving it all he's got.
Reversal of the Irish whip. Primo off the ropes. Shingo sets too soon. Sunset flip, but he rolls right through.
Going for the powerbomb. He's got him up on his shoulders now. Drops him down, holding onto the legs.
Strong able to break it up. Just as Primo was going to kick out at 2. Single-legged crab now from Shingo.
Really trying to crawl toward the ropes. And Claudio takes this opportunity to enter the match, slapping the back of Shingo. That's a tag.
Realizing the position of Shingo in the match against him. Straight a little too close to the corner, and Castagnoli made the blind tag. Primo off the ropes. Boot to the knee to the midsection. Clubbing blow to the back, sends him to the canvas. Picks him right back up. Boot to the chest, sends him to the corner.
And the size difference is so great. Look at how much taller Claudio is than Pelly Primo. He's trying his best to fight him off, but now Roderick Strong caving in the chest of Pelly Primo. One of the hardest choppers in professional wrestling today.
And just putting the boots to young Pelly in the corner, picking him right back up. Drags him to the center of the ring. High elevation on the delayed vertical suplex. Just walking around the ring with Pelly Primo.
Letting all the blood rush into his head. And instead of suplexing him, just slaps him across the face. But Pelly kicks out. Refuses to go down.
Body slam from Strong, and then drives the elbow right to the chest. Another 2 count.
Everybody's been taking their turns, pounding on Pelly Primo in this match, but he's continuing to kick out, continuing to fight, despite the beating that he's taking.
Shingo now tags in as Roderick has some words with Claudio Castagnoli. Wicked chop.
Another hard chop to the chest. His chest is just beat red.
One more, he says, asking for quiet.
And again. Cover. But Roderick Strong wants, oh, not again. Roderick asking for the tag. He wants to take turns. They want to take turns chopping Pelly Primo.
Strong not going to wait for the tag. He's just going to put himself into the matchup. Sets Primo against the ropes.
Once again, full force. Cover. Pelly kicks out. Continuing to fight in this match. Roderick just elevating him. Launching him overhead with the fall-away slam.
Castagnoli now tags his way back in. Now he's got that tie.
Right around the throat, choking Pelly Primo. That's the only reason that Claudio wears that necktie, is to choke his opponents with it.
Did just that. Picks him back up. To the midsection. Takes his shirt off. European uppercut. He just knocked him halfway across the ring. Cover.
Again, he kicks out. Pelly Primo being manhandled, treated like a rag doll in this match by all of his opponents, but nobody's been able to pin him. And now tempers are flaring between Shingo and Claudio Castagnoli.
Back to work on Primo is Shingo. Look at the height on that suplex as Shingo himself left his feet. Another near fall.
Pulling Pele Primo back up, headbutt from Shingo. Claudio tags himself in, again slapping the back of Shingo. A little bit of a shoving match between those two. Meanwhile, Pele getting back to his feet as they do battle. Pele off the ropes. Oh, into a head scissors. Down goes double C. And Pele tags out to Matt Cross. Missile drop kick. And a series of drop kicks to follow up. Elevated out to the apron. Twin-Lord head scissors. Right into a pinning predicament, but only two.
Claudio just got spiked on top of his head, but was able to kick out. Roderick makes his way in. Looking for the slingshot suplex. Hooks the leg. And only gets two. Cross back to his feet. Strong sends it to the rope. Baseball slide all the way to the floor. Briscoe connects with the knee strike. Double stomp on Strong. Cover by Mark Briscoe. No, drags him in the ring. Center of the ring and now goes for the cover. Only able to get two. Shingo enters the matchup. Headbutt on Mark Briscoe. Follows it into the corner. Catches him on his shoulder. Sets him in the corner. Drives the forearm to the chest. And clotheslines him over the top all the way to the floor.
Pele Primo up top. Shingo turns around and takes him off his feet. Double stop from Pele.
Go for the cover, man.
Cover. No, only two.
That would have been the biggest win of Pele Primo's career for sure.
He has taken such a beating in this match, but he's continuing to fight. Gets the boot up into the shoulder of Roderick Strong. Going for the head scissors, but too much power.
Powerbomb backbreaker.
Claudio breaks it up. European uppercut on Roderick Strong. Spins him down to the canvas. Shingo breaks it up.
Shingo right back to work on top of Claudio. European uppercut from Castagnoli. Forearm shot from Shingo. European from Castagnoli. Shingo off the ropes. Forearm strike sends Claudio back to the ropes. Bullseye!
Mark Briscoe breaks it up. Taking his attention to Shingo now. Series of forearm strikes from Mark Briscoe. Reversal of the Irish whip. Mark off the ropes. Leg lariat takes down Shingo. Out to the apron he goes. Into the splash.
Cross in to break it up at two. Has Briscoe on his shoulders. Right across the knee with the back of his neck. Up to the top.
M-Dog showing off his aerial ability right there, but only gets two.
Roderick breaks it up at the last second, puts on the brakes.
Military press into a gut buster. Roderick Strong trying to see who's going to take advantage of the situation. It's Shingo, but he gets the enziguri.
Briscoe back up to his feet. Drives Strong head first to the turnbuckle. Forearm shots in the corner. Sets him up on the top. To the outside he goes. Went for that springboard ace crusher. Nobody there. And gets caught with a boot off the top.
Here comes Claudio. Roll up. Rolls all the way through. Gibson driver. Dudley breaks it up.
Strong puts on the brakes though. He's got Pele elevated on his shoulders. Torture rack backbreaker.
And what's this?
It's Austin Aries.
Austin Aries just chased Roderick Strong out of the ring. He wants Roderick Strong. And that leaves Pele Primo and Shingo inside the ring.
Primo up and over with the head scissors on Castagnoli on the floor.
Unbelievable. M-Dog now, along with Mark Briscoe, sends Shingo off. He sends them together. Shingo hits the ropes. Gets caught by Mark Briscoe and dumped with the suplex.
Briscoe to his feet.
Shooting star to the floor. Come on, Bailey!
M-Dog, the only one left in the ring. Crowd getting behind him, head of steam. Castagnoli catches him. And he got him.
Here is your winner, Claudio Castagnoli.
Big win for Claudio Castagnoli in six-man mayhem.
Sweet soul, love, sweetie. That one was for you. And when that one was, there's much more coming. You got me.
The Samoa Joe farewell tour continues as part of the 5th year festival, as he says goodbye to the fans here in Dayton, Ohio, against Davey Richards. Samoa Joe no longer a part of the ROH roster as a regular at the end of the 5th year festival.
Richards, very, very good in his appearances here in ROH. Now part of the No Remorse core with Roderick Strong. But he has his hands full with the ROH icon, Samoa Joe, here in Dayton.
A true ROH legend is Samoa Joe, and Davey Richards has some very lethal kicks in his repertoire. You see him using those kicks right off the bat on Samoa Joe. A little bit of a feeling out process here to start things, and Joe can throw some hard kicks as well.
Right over the top of the head of Davey Richards. Luckily for Richards, Joe did not connect, or he might have taken the head right off the shoulders right there. Goes for the single leg. Back heel trip takes the big man off his feet.
Of course, Dayton, Ohio, this very building is a very key location in Samoa Joe's Ring of Honor career, as it was right here at the Montgomery County Fairgrounds Coliseum that Samoa Joe and CM Punk wrestled in their very first 60-minute time limit draw during Samoa Joe's illustrious reign as ROH World Champion.
A fall from Joe, both men back to their feet. His feeling out process continues here. Joe circling. Some stern words for referee Todd Sinclair. So once again, they look to lock up in the center.
Fans here in this building, I heard before the show even got underway, a lot of people talking about that World Title Classic matchup between Joe and Punk. They were here live and in person for that matchup, and they're here to say goodbye to Samoa Joe.
Controlling the arm of Richards right in the center of the ring. Richards careful to keep that shoulder off the mat. Nips up, showing some quickness there as Joe still hangs on to the arm. Nice reversal. Rolls through, bridges out. Joe still hanging on. But Richards, there you see the feet coming into play, kicking away at the arm of Joe.
The quickness of Davey Richards right there out of that bridge, able to deliver the solid kick right to the arm and the shoulder of Samoa Joe.
Freed himself from the hold. Both men again back to their feet.
Kicking away the leg of Samoa Joe now is Davey Richards. Catches the leg of Davey and smacking him across the face. Joe's not going to let Davey Richards get too cocky during this matchup. Able to connect with the enziguri, stunning Samoa Joe. Doesn't take him off his feet though. Series of forearm strikes from Richards.
Snap bears Joe off the ropes to the center of the ring and grabs a rear chin lock. Really wrenching down is Davey Richards.
Trying to wear Samoa Joe down here with this hold. Working his way back up to his feet. And strike from Davey Richards and clubbing away on the back.
Try and suplex Joe here. I'm not sure he's going to be able to get him off his feet this early in the matchup. Enziguri from Joe connects. Richards swinging wildly on the way down.
As he was falling down, swinging wildly. Samoa Joe peppering him with punches. Right to the jaw. Back fist right there, and face first into the canvas goes Davey.
Definitely do not think Davey Richards wants to go strike for strike with Samoa Joe, one of the biggest and heaviest hitters here in ROH, but maybe not as big and heavy a hitter as the new world champion.
Well, Samoa Joe was right there with Morishima, move for move, strike for strike, back in Manhattan. A historic bout in ROH history, without a doubt. Another solid kick from Samoa Joe in the corner, and down goes Davey Richards, hooks that leg. But Richards gets his shoulder up off the mat.
Yeah, that matchup, a true battle of two heavyweights here in ROH. The night before, Morishima went on to win the world title from Homicide.
You know, just as much as Samoa Joe is known for his striking ability, Davey Richards, the American protege of Kenta, both he and Kenta like to throw some very hard chops and kicks to their opponents. So the striking of Davey Richards is a big part of his arsenal. He's not going to do much striking when he's just at the feet, literally, of Samoa Joe. Trying to get back to his feet, though, Davey Richards.
Makes his way back up and fires a chop. That one stung Joe. Staggered him momentarily. Enziguri on top of the ear. Rocks Joe. Obviously dazed to Samoa Joe in the center. Elbow to the back of the neck. Joe starting to slow down here from these hard hits at the hands and feet of Davey Richards. Forearm shot. Rocks Joe one more time. Richards with some momentum off the ropes. Ducks the clothesline. Went for the handspring kick, but Joe had it scouted and just walked out of the way.
As soon as he saw it coming, he just started to move out of harm's way, and Davey Richards, a handspring kick on the Invisible Man, basically. Samoa Joe's on the other side of the ring by that point.
Snapmares him over, chop to the back, kick to the chest, off the ropes, drives the knee to the chest, trademark combination from Joe. Hooks the leg, only able to get one.
Richards kicks out. He knows this is a big match in his career as he's looking to work his way up the ladder in professional wrestling and prove himself as one of the top players here in Ring of Honor competition. And if he's able to defeat Samoa Joe here, as part of Joe's farewell tour here in Ring of Honor, as part of the 5th year festival, would certainly be a feather in the cap of Davey Richards.
Back to his feet, elbows to the midsection, frees himself from the hold. Off the ropes he goes, but Joe drives the knee to the midsection.
Used all of Davey Richards' momentum against him as he came charging right into the knee. Now he's feeling the effects. Wrapping his arms and his legs around that bottom rope to keep Samoa Joe away from him.
Sinclair making Joe back up momentarily, but he comes right back to him. And Richards, though, fired up, asking for more. Trading kicks. Joe and Richards going at it.
Oh, right to the back of the head! Full force!
Davey Richards might be out right here.
Wow! That kick was full force to the back of the head of Davey Richards. Did not see it coming. And out to the floor wisely he rolls, because if Samoa Joe were to go for a cover right now, he would have this match won.
Todd Sinclair checked on Richards immediately, and it looked to me like their lights were on, but there was nobody home. Richards rolls out to the floor, but he is still in a bad way here.
Well, you gotta hand it to Samoa Joe, though. He's giving Richards some time to work his way back to his feet out on the floor. Show of sportsmanship from Samoa Joe here. He knows he got all that kick. See what Davey Richards is made of. You know, Joe wants to see exactly what Richards brings to the table firsthand, and so do these fans.
How much is he going to have left after absorbing a blow like that? Able to kick out at 2, though. Joe did not hook the leg. He may still have had Richards there. Backs him to the corner. Hard chop to the chest.
Pulling Richards up in the corner. Another chop from Samoa Joe.
There's one more, sets him up. And a 3rd chop to the chest of Davey Richards. And once again, Richards is slumped in the corner. Dragon twist from Joe. Brings Richards out. Up and over the top, Richards to the apron. Catches Joe coming in. Drops him throat first on the top. Springboard missile drop kick. And Joe goes all the way out to the floor.
Caught him in the shoulder, and the momentum sent Joe all the way to the floor. Here comes Davey Richards. Baseball slide drop kick sends Samoa Joe into the steel barricade.
Richards off the side of the ropes with momentum. Takes out Joe with the dive.
Richards putting his own body on the line right there. Brings these fans to their feet.
Come on, Joe.
Could have paid the price a little bit physically himself, delivering that maneuver to Samoa Joe, but he's the first man back to his feet.
Going to have the advantage here on Joe as he backs him into the corner.
Is Davey Richards trying to pull a page out of the Samoa Joe playbook? I thought he might have thinking a leg kick, but no. Just kicking away at the chest of Samoa Joe while he had him in a seated position.
Getting in the face of some fans here in the front row in Dayton. Picks Joe back up. Reversal by Joe, and Richards hits the steal.
Full force. Into the barricade went Davey Richards. And the fans here in Dayton want to see it.
One last time, they want the Olay kick. Chop from Joe.
Move out of the way. Here comes Samoa Joe.
Unfortunately, Davey Richards didn't move out of the way. And Samoa Joe is stuck.
So much force behind that kick. His own leg stuck into the barricade, and it's beyond repair at this point. Dragging Davey Richards to the other side of the ringside area. Setting up yet another chair.
Unfortunately for Davey Richards, looks like Joe is going to try it again. Todd Sinclair begging Joe to come back to the ring as Joe paces to the other corner. Head of steam. And again, driving the head of Davey Richards into the steel.
Richards looks completely out of it. Sitting in that chair. And Samoa Joe just wearing him out. We're going to see a third. Here comes Joe. Davey Richards is done. Face first, down on the floor. At the mercy of Samoa Joe.
Picking him up once again. Don't tell me he's going to do it again. Richards though firing back.
Where's he getting this from?
Forearm strikes on Joe. And Richards rolls back to the relative safety of the ring.
There won't be any Olay kicks inside the ring. There's more punishment from Samoa Joe.
Shoulder block from Richards to the midsection. Drives Joe's head to the turnbuckle. Joe still on the apron. DDT on the apron. Samoa Joe's head just bounced off the apron.
And that's just the ring frame. That was right on the edge. That's all steel and wood. Head first.
Get the hell out of the way, Sinclair! In the ring, team. Come on, Joe, get up, baby.
Joe trying to shake the cobwebs, and Richards very wisely going right back to work.
Well, after that series of Olay kicks on the floor, Richards needed to hit something big to stun Samoa Joe, and that was it. But only gets 2 out of it.
Joe able to get the shoulder up. Richards back to his feet, trying to plan his next move. Drags Joe back up.
Going for that running Liger bomb, but Samoa Joe's a big guy to get up for that.
I don't think he's got Joe worn down quite enough for that yet. Driven into the turnbuckles. Joe picks him back up. Sets him on the top rope.
Going for the muscle buster. Richards trying to fight it off and block.
He hooked those feet around the ropes to kind of keep his balance. Joe's going to follow him up instead. Both men perched up top here.
Going for a superplex, it looks like. Shots from Davey Richards to free himself from that position.
He's all the way up top.
Sunset bomb, cover. Only gets 2.
Once again, Joe able to power his way out. Richards crawling to the corner. Joe struggling to get to his feet in the center. Just checking those teeth and making sure they're all still there. Head of steam. Backflips to the ring. Powerbomb by Joe.
Big power slam from Samoa Joe, but he gets his shoulder up.
Joe with that power slam used all the momentum of Richards against him. There's the powerbomb.
Converts into the STF.
Come on, Richard!
Will Davey Richards have to tap out here?
Davey, come on!
Samoa Joe switches up to a crossface.
Richard, do you give up?
Really pulling back on it. Referee asking if he's had enough.
Come on, Davey.
Richards right in the center of the ring, as you can see, trying to crawl his way towards the ropes.
Davey, how about it?
Samoa Joe still with the hold cinched in. Richards trying to inch his legs toward the bottom rope.
Getting very close to that one corner now. Trying to angle his body as Joe really wrenching down.
Come on, Richards! Come on!
And he's got the ropes.
1, 2!
Richards able to force the break momentarily. But Samoa Joe right back to his feet to continue the attack.
Davey Richards surviving everything that Samoa Joe throws at him. Trying to put on the brakes here. Knee strikes now from Davey Richards. Trying to get the big man up.
Joe blocks. Richards tries another attack. Using his feet, driving the boots to the chest of Joe.
Can he get him now? Staying on his feet. Waist lock. Elbows from Samoa Joe. Breaks free. Duck of the clothesline. Handspring into the enziguri. German suplex with a bridge. Only two. He didn't have the shoulders flush against the canvas. Referee needed to check that shoulder before resuming a count.
That may have cost Richards the match right there. That split second may have enabled Joe to get the shoulder up. Both men to their feet, feeling the effects. Another waist lock. Joe trying to elbow his way free.
Richards relentless though, maintaining it. O'Connor roll. Right into the choke. This could be it right here. He puts everyone down with the choke. Davey Richards being choked out by Samoa Joe.
Trying to roll his way to the ropes, but Joe hanging on.
Morishima passed out in the choke of Samoa Joe as well. Davey Richards locked into the choke of Samoa Joe. Referee Todd Sinclair getting right in there. He could be out right here.
Left arm still showing some fight.
Trying to break free, Davey Richards.
Refusing to give up.
Back to his feet. Elbows now to the midsection of Samoa Joe. Right back to the choke he goes. This is it. This is it. Legs wrapped around the body of Davey Richards. He's gonna pass out right here.
Oh, you see the eyes are starting to roll back in his head. Losing oxygen as Joe really wrenches down.
Just like Morishima. No, he's not passing out. Davey Richards digging down for some more energy.
What is keeping this kid going?
Come on!
He wants to prove himself against Samoa Joe. He has proven himself through this match already, just going hold for hold, strike for strike, and lasting through the choke, trying to work his way out of it, trying to get back to his feet once again. Joe trying to hold on.
Somehow has the strength to get to his feet in a low blow.
Referee didn't see it, asking Davey Richards if it was a low blow. He survived the choke and then ruined it with that low blow.
Oh, look at him pointing to his head, saying how smart he is for using the low blow.
Well, I guess that's what he and Roderick Strong are all about. No remorse, whatever it takes to get the job done.
Stalking Joe now, boot to the face and a kick to the chest by Davey Richards. Forearm strike staggers Joe.
Pro wrestling.
Richards mouthing off to some of these fans, and that gave Joe the opportunity to fire away with several jabs.
Another low blow. Todd Sinclair didn't see it again.
Davey Richards with two low blows on Samoa Joe, trying to get the victory here. And a quick leg drop to follow up. Very happy with himself.
Pulling out all the stops here. He's got Joe down.
These people don't want you.
Climbing to the top, putting a bad mouth on him.
Very full of himself. Davey Richards taking a whole lot of time.
All the way up top he goes.
Shooting star press. And Samoa Joe kicks out. Richards can't believe it. But he did take a whole lot of time before executing that maneuver.
He may well have had Joe put away there had he fully executed that maneuver a little bit sooner.
Joe out to the ring apron. And Davey Richards drives him face first into the turnbuckle.
One more time, he goes up to the top. Joe fighting him off on the apron. Open hand strike from Joe. Turns Richards around to face him. Still up on top. Oh, he's going for the muscle buster. Muscle buster on the apron.
A big Samoa Joe, but you have to credit Davey Richards for surviving the choke of Samoa Joe during that matchup.
Now, Dayton, Ohio, before we go on, that proves a point. If you smack your bitch around in public, she's bound to spit on you. Dayton, Ohio, welcome to Ring of Honor. Now, I'm glad I got to stop in Dayton on this little farewell tour of mine for a couple of reasons. One, weird same-sex love from those guys over there. Welcome to 2000. Wow. And another is that, though Dayton's been one of our smaller markets, they've always had the fans with the biggest heart, and we've had some hell of a good matches here. There's been good times, there's been bad times, but when Ring of Honor comes to the Midwest, Dayton's always ready to party, and we appreciate it. And the best way I can say thank you to you people was a couple years back, I sat in this ring next to one of my best friends in the goddamn world, and we said, nobody's gonna fucking stop us. Well, I'm right here in the middle of this ring, and I'm telling you right now, we're still here. Thank you, Dayton. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for everything. I am Samoa Joe. This is Ring of Honor, and I love pro wrestling. Thank you.
champion Takeshi Morishima making his first title defense against Ohio's own BJ Whitmer in this matchup.
Once again, no ring introductions for an ROH World title match involving Takeshi Morishima. He didn't wait to jump Homicide when he was challenging for the title, and he's not going to wait to jump BJ Whitmer now that he's defending the title.
He's here to just get the job done, to walk away with a victory. Morishima now with a steel chair in hand just across the throat of BJ Whitmer. Referee Todd Sinclair taking the chair away.
Morishima on the floor punishing BJ Whitmer right off the bat. Hard chop to the chest.
You know, BJ Whitmer is a wrestler that hits very hard. But Morishima, as we saw in the matchup against Samoa Joe in Manhattan, as we saw in the matchup against Homicide, a very hard hitter himself. And for a man of his size, 290 pounds, he's very agile as well.
He can take some punishment and come back like no wrestler I've seen in a very long time, as BJ Whitmer hit him right there with everything he had, and Morishima just kept coming.
Both men inside the ring now. BJ Whitmer firing away on Morishima forearms, but he's shaking off the effects. Morishima dishing it right back out to Whitmer.
4 shots from BJ Whitmer didn't even back the champ up, and 1 shot sent the challenger to the canvas. And BJ Whitmer is no junior heavyweight.
We're seeing firsthand just what Morishima is all about and why everyone in Japan is saying that he is the future of heavyweight professional wrestling in the country of Japan. Hey, it could be the entire world. He's got the world title around his waist, and the future of ROH's World Championship is in the hands of Morishima.
The future of Japanese heavyweight wrestling is currently going to be the present of wrestling here in the United States, as the world champ sends BJ to the ropes. Sunset flip, but he can't get the big man off his feet.
290 pounds down across the chest, but Whitmer kicks out.
Morishima back to his feet. You said it before, the future of the title in the hands of Morishima. But what happens if he wins this match tonight? He gets to defend the title at Pro Wrestling Noah's event at Budokan Hall in Tokyo on March the 4th. Basically, that's the equivalent of a pay-per-view show here in the United States. But if he does that, the title does not get defended at the rest of the 5th Year Festival in England. It doesn't get defended at the end of the month back in Detroit in our double shot weekend. So basically the 4 of the biggest shows of the year here in ROH, the world title won't be defended.
It's all on BJ Whitmer in this matchup to take the title from Morishima so that we will have title matches on all 4 of the events that you just mentioned. And the fans here in Dayton have always been very supportive of BJ Whitmer. During his career, they've seen him rise through the card here in Ring of Honor. They've seen him battle the Necro Butcher in a no-rope barbed wire match in this building. But he's never faced a man the stature of Takeshi Morishima. Got great momentum coming off the ropes and just bowled him over, going for it again and again, taking BJ Whitmer down.
1, 2.
But he kicks out.
Another near fall for the champ. 290 pounds, full of momentum and velocity across the chest and the face of BJ Whitmer. And a double chop sends him right back down to the canvas.
So many of the matches over the course of the past year and a half out of BJ Whitmer have shown what a tough individual he is. Street fight matches, no disqualification, brawls all over the building. He's held his own with just about anybody he's crossed paths with. And now he's faced with such an intimidating individual in his opportunity to earn the ROH World title.
He's faced a lot of adversity in his career, but I don't think he has ever faced anyone as dominant as the current world champion, Morishima. Right back to his feet comes Whitmer, and he's caught with a kick from the champ. Forearm shots exchanged by both these big athletes.
Back and forth they go. Morishima with a combination, and down goes Whitmer once again.
As soon as BJ Whitmer gains a little bit of momentum, all it takes is one serious clubbing blow from the champ to stop Whitmer in his tracks.
Morishima known for the backdrop driver, dumping his opponents on their heads. Of course, BJ Whitmer known for the wrist clutch exploder. It'll be a great show of power on his part if he is able to hit that maneuver on someone the size of Morishima.
Morishima taking his time here now, just stalking BJ Whitmer, who's back to his knees, trying to get back to his feet. Struggling is BJ Whitmer. The champ just grabs him by the throat and just drives him back to the corner.
Still choking away on Whitmer, but he's firing back on Morishima. And once again, forearm strike from Whitmer.
But the champ continues to just rain down blows to the back of the head of BJ Whitmer, stopping any momentum he has right in its tracks.
You gotta hand it to BJ. As much of the punishment that he absorbs, he's getting back to his feet. He's continuing to fire back, kicking away at the chest, and now chopping away on Morishima.
Whitmer's got all the heart in the world, and he's showing every bit of it as he refuses to back down from the world champ. But another forearm shot sends him down to the canvas.
Just standing on the throat of BJ Whitmer.
290 pounds right across the throat, courtesy of the world champ, who's now intimidating senior official Todd Sinclair.
A stare down in the corner. This is also giving Whitmer some time to try to catch his breath, pull himself together in the corner. Morishima going back to work now. Whitmer holding onto the ropes, trying to prevent from being sent off.
Morishima just muscled him off. Whitmer, though, connects with a kick to the thigh and takes the big man off his feet. Off the ropes, running knee strike.
To the side of the head sends Morishima to the floor.
Whitmer connects with the dive and sends the champ sprawling up the aisleway.
Soaring through the ring ropes, BJ Whitmer. The adrenaline's pumping through his body. He's worked so hard for this world title opportunity, and it's fitting that he get this chance right here in Ohio.
Staying right on top of Morishima. Whitmer's starting to gain a bit of an advantage here and needs to keep the momentum going in his favor. One more time the champ hits the steel.
Now it's BJ Whitmer standing over Morishima. The tide of the match has turned. The challenger now in control, looking for the exploder on the floor. Can he get him up? No elbows from Morishima, fighting his way out of that position. Going for a powerbomb. Powerbomb on the floor. That's how he gave Misawa a concussion. Powerbomb on the floor. All he's got to do is get BJ Whitmer back inside the ring and go for a cover.
The back of BJ Whitmer's head just bouncing off the floor.
I can't believe how dominating Morishima is.
Well, there you saw an example of what we were talking about, how this guy can take punishment like nobody I have ever seen and continue to come back on offense. He takes the best shot of anybody he's in the ring with, and he keeps coming.
And BJ Whitmer, you have to hand it to him. As much as Morishima has thrown at him, he's been kicking out, he's been firing back with forearms of his own. Morishima with the cover now. 1, 2, 3. He kicks out! You gotta hand it to BJ Whitmer.
Oh, what guts on the part of Whitmer. The back of his head just bounced off the cement floor, and somehow he found a way to kick out when he was rolled back in the ring. But you gotta ask yourself, how much left in the tank is there? How much more punishment can he take from the dominant 290-pound Ring of Honor World Champ?
Oh, it would mean so much to BJ Whitmer to win the world title and defend it in the UK for Ring of Honor.
Well, the legs just gave out on Whitmer there. Another cover, this time a little cocky from Morishima. Just put the knee across his chest. Whitmer's still able to kick out. He's not finished yet, but it may just be a matter of time.
You want to talk about a world title next week? If Morishima retains the title in this match, it will be defended in Tokyo's Budokan Hall.
Morishima climbing up to the top. We talked about his agility earlier on. He's up top. Missile drop kick.
Great height from the big man, soaring across the ring and connecting with the chest of Whitmer. Cover! BJ kicks out.
Once again, BJ Whitmer digging down and showing some heart, refusing to go down. He knows this is the chance of his career.
Is the belt going to Liverpool or Tokyo? This match will decide that.
Clubbing shots from Morishima in the corner. 3 times across the side of the head of BJ Whitmer, who is seriously in trouble here. Todd Sinclair telling the champ to let Whitmer out of the corner. But the champ is relentless. Right back into the corner he goes. BJ to the buckle. Morishima with a head of steam. Nobody there. Whitmer out of the way. Boot to the midsection. DDT.
Plants him head first into the canvas. Whitmer now looking to seize this opportunity. Morishima on his back. Whitmer now up top. Big splash.
1, 2,
Morishima gets his shoulder up.
BJ Whitmer drove his knees right into the ribcage of Morishima, but he was still able to kick out at 2.5. Now the big man picked back up by the challenger, firing away with forearms. Head of steam for Whitmer off the ropes. Big boot, but Morishima doesn't go down.
Looking for the exploder. Oh, he got it! Exploder by Whitmer!
We're gonna have a new champ. He kicked out. BJ Whitmer just dropped him on his head, but it's gonna take a hell of a lot more than that to beat the world champ.
Perhaps the wrist clutch variation of the exploder. Whitmer's going for that right now. He's got the wrist. Can he get it? Morishima with elbows, fighting his way out of it. Combination of forearms from Whitmer. Off the ropes.
Side slam from the champ. All of Whitmer's momentum used against him as he's driven to the canvas. Morishima now back to his feet. Can he capitalize? Handful of hair, picks the challenger back up to his knees, and now back to his feet. Whitmer staggering up, hand on the throat.
Face and chest first, hooks the leg. Whitmer kicks out.
Once again, BJ Whitmer showing the guts and heart that we have seen of him here in ROH as he refuses to go down without a fight. Morishima one more time, handful of hair, picks him up.
Plants him with a Uranagi slam. Morishima standing tall.
Whitmer very slowly getting to his knees as Morishima's on his feet. Off the ropes. Goes behind us, Whitmer. Sends the champ to the corner. Forearm shot. German suplex. And Whitmer's back on his feet again.
Big lariat cover.
2.5.
Only 2. BJ Whitmer's giving it all he's got here against Morishima, trying to win the ROH World title.
What has he got to do to put this guy away?
It's all on Whitmer to keep the title here in Ring of Honor. Can you imagine no defenses in the UK, no defenses at the end of March in Detroit?
No, I do not want to imagine that. Whitmer's trying to lock in a choke here.
Backdrop driver.
Floats over. Covered by Morishima. But Whitmer kicked out. That's the move that won the title from Homicide. But Whitmer able to kick out. Morishima to his feet. Whitmer to his knees. Lariat! And again Whitmer able to kick out.
Look at how tough BJ Whitmer is, kicking out of the lariat as well as the backdrop driver. Another backdrop driver from Morishima.
1, 2, 3.
And that one put him away. Morishima retains the world title, and he will take it to Tokyo. Over 13,500 fans will see Morishima defend the title against Kenta next week at Budokan Hall. But tomorrow night in Chicago, we'll see a huge tag team main event when Morishima teams with Nigel McGuinness to take on Samoa Joe and Homicide. We'll see you in Chi-Town as ROH's 5th birthday party continues.
Tomorrow night, baby. Tomorrow night. It's been 6 months since we had a title shot last.
Hungry, baby.
We ain't done nothing but got better, more hungry, stronger, faster, more mobile, agile, hostile,
Sir,
baby.
that's right. Hey, we're in Chicago too.
Yeah.
We're in Chicago,
Yeah,
bro. Remember,
baby.
we got a little
Windy City,
history in
boy.
Chicago. Little history in Chicago. That's where the first title reign ended. Well, I got news for you. That's where title reign number 3 is going to begin tomorrow night. Matt Sydal, Chris
Man
Daniels,
up.
time to man up, boys.
New champs tomorrow, 3 times.
I don't know if you guys have been following what's going on here, but Roderick Strong has decided to form his own little group. And well, I know something about groups. 2004, Generation Next. We were the new talent. We're the new guys coming up, you know? We had the determination. We were looking to take the top spots, and that's what we did. And I led those guys there. And I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm looking for some new talent. You guys have the qualities I'm looking for. And you guys are trying to climb up the ladder, and I want to throw you guys the rope and lead the way.
ROHvideos.com is the official video hub of Ring of Honor on the internet. Follow ROH for free through the Video Wire, featuring exclusive content and matches you won't see anywhere else. Introduce new fans to Ring of Honor through the roster videos and welcome video, plus more that you won't see anywhere else. Go to ROHvideos.com and follow Ring of Honor for free.
I've been in the background for way
action in Ring of Honor. New York City! What you have all just witnessed. And Austin Aries, what you just experienced is the beginning of the No Remorse Corps.
Roderick Strong. Last night in New York, you decided it was in your best interest to jump me from behind, to claim your stake as a new leader, and to introduce us to your new tag team partner, Davey Richards. Or as I like to think of him, Austin Aries Light. Roger Strong, unlike you, I'm gonna do this like a man. And to your face, because I know your ass is back there. I want you out here right now.
You're not who I want. You're not who I want. Austin, for real. I'm usually the jokester, but I'm being dead serious. I cannot allow a war to start between you and Roderick Strong. Come on, Austin. We got so much history, man. This isn't anything that can't be settled over a couple Jaeger bombs, some Wii bowling, some Gears of War. Come on. We can make Roderick come to his senses, Austin.
Let's go, lock down that rep. Let's settle this right now.
Austin, calm down, please, please. You see, I would like nothing more than to walk down this aisle and get in that ring with you right now. But see, fortunately for you, I have a huge FIP heavyweight title match tonight. But Austin, Austin, in the future, you will see, my friend, why I was the top member of Generation Next when I pinned your ass 1, 2, 3 in the middle of that ring. Now on to you, Jack, the Peacemaker. You're either with me or against me. And the more I see you, the more I see you hanging around Austin. And to me, that tells me you're against me. And Jack, this isn't a friendship thing. This is about taking the top spot of Ring of Honor.
You know, Roddy, I couldn't have said it better myself, but listen up, Evans. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret, and I'm gonna let all you idiots here in Philadelphia in on a little secret. Hey, I'm just telling the truth. Don't get mad at me. Don't kill the messenger, all right? Shut up! You see, me and the FIP heavyweight champion Roderick Strong, we're currently selecting new recruits for the No Remorse Corps. So, Evans, look at me when I talk to you, son. It's about time you choose what side you're on. Because like you said, either you're with us or you're against us. Let's go.
I'm not going to sit here and beg anyone to back me up. Because you see, my track record speaks for itself. I was the leader of a group of 4 of the most talented up-and-comers in this business, and we went straight to the top, and I was leading the way. So if Roger Strong wants to get together his NRC, then I guess I'm just going to have to go out and scout some of my own talent. I'm going to go out and I'm going to find the diamonds in the rough. I'm going to find the next generation of superstars, and I'm going to lead them just like I led each and every one of you.
It's no lie, Austin. Because of your leadership in Gen Next, you molded me into the dog I am today, yo. But if you are gonna go find a new breed, and Roderick's gonna go do his own thing, just maybe it's time I found a crew to lead myself.